that when my ex did that first fart, we'd spent a few nights together, and then as soon as she said that, I wasn't holding farts, but as soon as she did it, I was automatically able to do one, and I just ran over and did one straight back at her, and then it was like a fun moment. That was a bonding moment that you don't want to do all the time. You want to kind of, you don't want to get out of hand.
Well, these things can lead to
escalate.
Worse. Yeah, they can escalate. You can end up shitting on her chest or whatever.
Yeah. And I don't think couples should ever become too comfortable.
Farting is the gateway.
The gateway drug. But anyway.
Grow up.
Hey, Lorna.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Great.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Are you ready to talk about some agreements?
I am. And I'm glad we did this book, because I've actually been thinking about these agreements, and I've actually kind of made some agreements in my life. I just thought of that this second. And I remember the last time I listened to this book, I did the same thing. I think it's a powerful book. Yeah. I think the simplicity of it is the genius of it.
Yeah, man. It is so great. It's so good. And I think now reading it back, I'm realizing how much I kind of misinterpreted or misunderstood it. Not necessarily misunderstood. It's just interpreted it from a different lens at a different point in my life. And then reading it again now from a new lens and having new life experience 15 years later or whatever, you're like, oh, okay. And applying this shit to maybe more complex life problems. Because I think at that time when I was like just trying to discover who I was as a person and what I wanted. I'd broken up with somebody after 6 years in a long-term relationship from when I was young. We were together from when I was 20. And so then I'd like broken up with him and was just like, what is life all about?
Yeah.
What the fuck is all this?
Just like a hot air balloon floating in the wind.
Drifting into nothingness. And so I was like kind of latching on to anything that seemed right.
Yeah.
And so I think basically this was like a little bit of a life raft that I would like, this is how you live a good life. But I was still not like a whole complete person, and so easily distracted by several other things that I think I didn't quite lock enough of it in. And then now as a more grounded person and a much more wise person and having more life experience, I can like really sit in with this and see how it's manifesting in my life a lot more. And see, and that like the being impeccable with your word, when I read it the first time, I kind of read that to be honest. And then when I reread this now, I realized like, I've externalized that, because it's a lot easier to externalize the idea that, I just don't lie. To be impeccable with your word, if we talk about the first agreement from this book, is about being honest. But being 100% honest all of the time, internally and externally.
Yeah.
So being, and it's not just honesty, that's only one little facet of it. Being honest is the first step to being able to accept the reality as it is now. Being impeccable with your word is about, impeccable, he breaks down what the word impeccable means, and that is without sin.
Yeah, like the Latin root.
The Latin root of it means without sin. And by his definition, sin is to go against yourself with your own language. And that could be that you are talking badly about yourself to yourself and telling yourself stories that you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you're not worthy of respect, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or it could be that you're telling lies or being dishonest or being manipulative to other people, which will hurt you in the long run because that person will not respect you. So all the time, any actions you take that go against your best interests, even if you think in that moment, it's easier for me to lie right now.
Yeah.
If that lie is going to turn into something that is going to turn against you later, you are being impeccable with your word. You're using your word against yourself because you're going to get found out.
You're being not impeccable.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, because I read the book years ago too, and then now the thing that I've started to think about with impeccable with your word is how it affects even my self-esteem. Because like if I say I'm going to get up at 5 a.m., to write for half an hour, so that, and then I go to the gym, and then I go, if I go to work at 8 a.m. and I've done all the things I said I was going to do, now my self-esteem is higher. And I've even been reading recently like things about like testosterone and all that stuff is affected by that. Because if you get up and you do the thing you say you're going to do, well, now you've achieved success, which improves hormones, and I'm sure it's probably the same for men and women, but like testosterone increases because you get that win feeling. And then because you got that win feeling, hormones are balanced, dopamine's more balanced, everything, and then self-esteem. So, and then you're more confident, and then the whole day is better. So like that's the part I've been thinking about is like being impeccable more that way.
That is like being able to trust yourself,
Yeah.
so that you can stand your own ground. I feel like anytime you're lying to yourself or lying to other people, it's because you don't have confidence. It's a weakness.
Yeah.
It's being weak. It's that, and it's also a denial of what reality is. Like, this is how I disrespect myself.
Yeah.
I assume that I'm not good enough the way I am because I need to be that other thing over there. I need to be that thing I say I want to be. And then, but I'm not willing to do the work to be the thing. So then I have let myself down in two different ways. One way, believing I'm not good enough, that I should be something other than what I am. And then two, I don't have the confidence, willpower, or fucking get up and go to go do the thing. So then I'm also just reaffirming to myself that I'm a piece of shit. And again, like with this book, it's coming back to that being honest with who I am, where my attention's going every day. Like looking at the way I'm living my life and being honest, like, oh yeah, well, no wonder why you're not feeling great in that area, because you don't put any time and energy into it. And that's something to be ashamed of. You're fine. It's like, you're not going to get the results. You're not going to lose weight if you're eating Snickers every day.
Yeah.
So if you want to lose weight, you have to do a different action. But if you don't want to lose weight, eat Snickers. Good.
Yeah.
Like it's, and I think like I've got to get away from judgment a little bit, because, and I think this is one of the nice things about this book too, is that like these agreements are not about judgment. It's about like, oh, you're a bad guy. You're stupid. You are not impeccable with your word. It's like every time you aren't impeccable with your word, or you realize that you're telling yourself a lie, or you're trying to separate yourself from the present moment because you're trying to numb yourself because you don't like what is actually happening. You don't want to face what's right in front of you. Then you have to, yeah.
It is what it is. These are the facts. And you can close the book, but I can't just shut out something I've now known. You can't unsee this now.
Yeah.
So you can, but you'd have to be, and I guess that's where things like, you know, smoking and drinking and all these things come in, because it's like, yeah, you can cover it up, but if you honestly ask yourself these four, and I think that's why it's so good there is only 4 agreements.
Yeah, it's simple.
Because some books have so many things, like the fucking 25 principles of, but 4 principles, it's so simple and small. That's why I love it so much.
Yeah, and in that immediate moment, you can run everything through the 4 agreements really quickly. It's a filter to run things through.
Yeah.
Like, am I being impeccable with my word means, like, right now, am I doing something or saying something that is overall going to harm me or harm somebody else?
Yeah.
If the answer is yes to either of those questions, then I need to do something differently.
Yeah.
And it's like, great, what a nice way when you come into a crossroads, you're not sure what to do. What do I say? What do I feel? How do I do this? Just run it through that.
Yeah.
What's the truth of this situation? It's not just like, oh, I need to tell that person that their baby's annoying me.
Yeah.
But it is like what I think he's trying to talk about in this book, and I think I really respect it, is this whole idea that the poison is in you. So when you feel like lying and you get that kind of fear or that rush, or like I've got to get out of this, that's all it is like a lamp post to your insides to be like, why do you feel like you have to lie about that?
Yeah.
What's wrong with, like, what's going on? Why are you afraid? What are you protecting? What are you trying to hide? And then you will become so much more familiar with yourself, and more, it's a way of loving yourself more, because then you can look at that and, like, maybe not in that exact moment, you might have to just deal with whatever's in front of you and do the thing, take whatever action you take. But when you have a bit of time for quiet reflection, you can go, why did I feel like I had to lie? What fear was that attached to? Oh, I believe I'm not good enough. I believe I have to be funny. I believe I have to be smart. I believe I have to be the best at everything. And in that moment, I didn't know how to be the best, so I lied about it.
Yeah.
You know, or like, I'm not doing my job properly. I'm not doing the work that I know I should be doing, so I lied about it.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, okay, well, why am I not doing the work? What's happening? What's going on back here? And so the whole point of being impeccable with your word is more or less self-awareness. It's about become aware of the things you're telling yourself about who you are, and whether those are limiting beliefs or not. How many of those things are fucking you up in life and disconnecting you from the people around you? Because you know when someone's lying to you.
Yeah.
We all do. Like you can just whether it's an energetic thing or whatever, like we all know. And we all just let people lie to us because it's like more awkward to call them out on it or whatever. But we all know. Like you think you're getting away with some shit, and everybody, you all know.
It's so simple. Especially when we talk about it now, it seems so silly, right? Because we know what we want. So you go, well, what do I want in 20 years' time? I want to, like, you know, like we all want it. Why don't I have $1 million in the bank? Like, it's so obvious. Like, okay, I don't have $1 million in the bank because we've had the conversation before. I've spent it in pubs and stuff. Like, in 20 years' time, I know the things that I want to have, and being impeccable with my word and the other agreements will get me there.
Yes.
And every time you make a decision that goes against that, you're obviously going against yourself. You're sinning. It's so obvious.
Yes.
Why are we so dumb?
Why are we so dumb? I know. I know. Well,
but it comes down to these things, like fear of rejection, fear of loss, all these things that make us afraid to act correctly, right? Like,
yeah, and I think like the way that they lay it out in this book is just that all of it comes down to fear.
Yeah.
He basically says that and this is in the second book, and we're going to talk about this too, but he basically says there are two tracks with which you can view the world. There's two lenses with which you can view the world. Anything that comes into your brain, any kind of reaction you're having, you can either put it into the track of love or the track of fear. Those are the only options.
Simple.
Because all of our emotions, every single emotion, is stemming from either one of those two emotions. They're the only two. And it seems like maybe too simplistic, but really it isn't. Like when you look at it, anger is fear. Mm-hmm. Jealousy, rage, sadness, all of it. Every emotion you feel anxiety, all of them are fear. Or love is joy, happiness, excitement. All of that stuff is
motivation, all those kind of things.
Those feelings are when, and love, or say the love track or the emotion, that emotion track that stems from love is an opening, and the fear track is a shutting down.
Yeah.
And they both have their purposes, of course. Like you need to feel fear in if a tiger's running at you or somebody's breaking into your house, you don't want to be like run up to give them a hug or whatever. Like you do need to feel the fear, to feel the alarm, and then to kick your body into whatever action mode it needs to have. But if you're so smothered by fear, you're not going to kick into action mode. You're just going to be a piece of shit that you flight, fight, freeze, whatever.
And maybe in the fear mode, it's the love that causes the powerful action anyway. Because like fear is like I've always used to think of it as like fear is like a pushing energy, and love is like a pulling energy. And pulleys are stronger. You know, when you have pulleys set up like on a mast. Yeah. So even if the tiger's coming in, and then you act to save your children and stuff, it's the love that's pulling you to do the action. So that's probably why people can do those amazing strengths. Because fear energy is not that strong. Like it's like, oh yeah, I'm afraid, so I'm going to go and whatever it is, go out and do whatever action. But it's not as strong.
Rigidity.
Yeah.
I think fear also seems rigid. It seems breakable. It seems like
uncertain as well.
It's because it needs to box things in.
Yeah. It
creates rigid structures that are easily shattered. Whereas like love is more flowing. Love is an unfolding process. So love is this like a river. It carves its way through things. It's very powerful. It'll create giant canyons in hard as fuck rock. But it takes a lot more time, and it weaves and meanders and like finds its way there. Whereas like fear is a bomb. Like I'm going to destroy this now.
Yeah.
And fear is also very urgent, whereas love is patient. And so and not to get too deep into that, because we'll talk about that when we talk about the other book. But when it comes down to like why any of these agreements would ever go wrong is almost always because you're looking at something through the lens of fear. And so when you say lies or you're dishonest with yourself or you avoid the situation you're in, it's because you're not comfortable being present with it.
Yeah.
Being present is love, and shutting things down, avoiding, hiding, rejecting, that's all fear.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's disconnected too, isn't it? Like, cause like I think when you're acting out of love, you are connected to a vision or whatever that you're connected to a source. You've got like a direct connection of energy to actual source, whereas fear, it's like either running away from something, avoiding something. So it's actually not got no connection. It's just like this fragmented thing that it's got no power source anymore, and it's when you shut the valve down, like
I know we talk about this in Muay Thai a little bit. Like clinching is the grappling aspect of Muay Thai. It's like where you can get your arms around somebody's neck, you can hold them tight, you can elbow them, you can knee them from that position.
Yeah.
And generally when you teach the clinch, what you usually say is when you're in trouble, like if you're in a bad position, shut it down. Make it smaller, make it tighter, because you don't want to give them space. So if they have space and they're in control, they'll be able to elbow you, they'll be able to hurt you. In jiu-jitsu, they say the same thing. If you're in trouble, shut it down. But if you're in control, open it up, create space, create movement. You shut it down so that you have enough clarity and space to then find the opening to move to the next step. So the correct way to use fear, if we are using the same analogy in grappling, is when you're in trouble, shut it down. Use the fear for that moment. Shut it down, get clarity, find confidence, and then find the opening. Reopen. You need breath to live. So you have to breathe in. You need to fill your lungs with oxygen. But if you fill your lungs with oxygen and then hold it and never let it out, you'll suffocate.
Yeah.
You can't shut down and then hold it shut.
Yeah.
There always has to be an opening. So you can use fear as a tool. And what they talk about in the Toltec tradition is that fear is an alarm for your emotional body. You have a physical body that feels pain. I'm hurt. I need to address this. I have a broken arm. I better fix that. And so what they say is like when you feel fear, that's just showing, that's an alarm. Being like, your emotional body is in trouble.
You don't leave the alarm on all fucking week.
Yeah, it's no good having a smoke alarm that you just ignore.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah.
You have to address the alarm, shut it down, and then take the steps.
Yeah, whereas in the modern world, we just have fucking alarms just buzzing all over us, and we're just ignoring them because we've got so many of them happening, and we're busy. We're like, I don't have time for the alarm. We've got to go on to the fucking next thing. Yeah,
and it's like, so we live with this just constant general level of anxiety all the time, this hum underneath us, and so it's really hard to see, like, I'm just anxious. That's just who I am. Or like we have these like badges of like, I'm anxious. I've got anxiety disorders, or
like an identity.
All of these things become these new identities. And what they're talking about in the 4 agreements is like, those are just agreements then.
Yeah.
As soon as you say, I have anxiety, or I suffer from anxiety, or I suffer from, you've made an agreement with that thing that it's now a part of your identity, a part of your personality. And then it becomes a limiting belief, because the next time anything happens and you feel that surge of anxiety, you go, this is normal.
Yeah.
It's because I have anxiety.
And I can't do this because of that.
Yeah. So I can't now go outside. Now I don't drive anymore.
Yeah.
Now I can't talk to anyone on the phone. Now, and then it's it. You're just shutting.
Yeah.
So to take it all the way back to being impeccable with your word, and we'll move on to the other agreements, but this one's so important because you literally create your reality by the words that you speak to yourself. So when you say, I have anxiety, you now have an excuse for every single thing that goes on in your world, that you can view the world through anxiety now.
You're going to filter
it's
everything.
A new lens that you're allowed to look at the world through, which just closes your world off.
Yeah. You're going to become anxious at things you weren't even anxious about before.
Yeah. It's a muscle that you start to build. And then the more you tell yourself that story, the stronger it gets. And then the more it just stays in there. And then you're stuck with it. And so being impeccable with your word is being aware of how often are you saying these things to yourself? How often are you saying you're going to do something and then you don't do it? How often are you letting yourself
off the hook?
How often are you telling yourself that you're not good enough, or that you can't try that, or you can't be that person? Like, it's just so worth asking why. You know, like when little kids, you say something to them, they're like, why?
Yeah.
You should never stop asking why.
Never.
We should always do that.
Yeah, I should look in the mirror every morning and go, why don't you have, if you're annoyed at something, like, because people are annoyed at things all the time. Just look in the mirror and go, why is that so? Yeah. It's pretty obvious.
You're carrying the poison. So it's like, why did that bother me so much? Well, what does that say about me? And like this actually moves us into, it doesn't really matter if we do them in order, does it?
It don't have to. There's no rules. It's your podcast.
It's my podcast. It's
it's
our podcast.
Yeah, but you're the, I would call you the head. What do you say in an airplane? We have the head pilot.
Yeah, I think that's
captain.
Just the pilot. Captain.
Yeah.
The captain
and
then
I feel like I'm the co-pilot.
Co-pilot.
Yeah. So like I can duck off and chat to the air hostesses for an hour and come back, and the podcast will still be running.
Yeah. I'll be stressed.
We should get some air hostesses. Can we have a couple? They have like
need a couple
trays
air
of drinks,
hostesses in here,
and I'll go sleaze on them for 10 minutes.
Gross.
So yeah, you can do them in any order.
So don't take anything.
You know what you can do? You can do half of another one and just don't give it all away.
Yeah. We'll just drag this out to 6 more episodes for a 100-page book. The next one is don't take anything personally. And that kind of like, none of these things are anyone's fault. And this is the real point in the 4 agreements, is none of this is your fault. It's just the nature of reality. The nature of reality is that things happen.
Yeah.
Good things, bad things, all kinds of things happen. The universe, as you always talk about, is in a constant balance of polarities. That's just what we are. There is extremes on all sides. The only thing we can control is our response to whatever happens to us. So if you get stabbed on the street randomly for no reason, it doesn't mean that you deserved to get stabbed and you're a bad person and that's why you got stabbed. If someone just randomly ran past you and stabbed you with a knife and then kept running, you got stabbed. You go to the hospital. Hopefully they stitch you up. Everything's okay. But if you walk out of there going, I'm a stab victim for the next 6 months, 8 months, whatever, all of that now becomes a new story in your head. I can't go outside. I'm going to get stabbed. I don't know what just happened to me. So it's not about like denying reality. It's not about saying that you don't feel all those feelings. Of course you're going to feel all of it's obvious, yes, but don't attach to an identity and a story about yourself because you got stabbed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because I haven't really been thinking about it from that point of view. I've been kind of thinking about it from like comedy and online. I mean, just in the past week, you know, because whatever you're kind of involved in, you kind of filter through that.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about it like in regards to stand-up and also things like Instagram and TikTok and that, where, you know, like oftentimes like like everyone likes to shit all over social media, but the reason we don't have big followings is because we have fear of rejection. Otherwise we would post every day as people that have grown massive followings have. And a lot of times for me, the idea of not taking anything personally is very important, because usually fear is the fear of what people think about you personally.
Yeah.
And when I realize that nothing should be taken personally, I've got zero fear to just post shit and not worry about the ick or the cringe or any of that shit. And that's one of the particular ones I've been thinking about the past few weeks in relation to online activity.
Well, it's the right thing for the job that you're in. It's the same thing in crowd work or when something happens in the room. We were kind of talking about this last week, that like if somebody shouts out something dumb when you're in the middle of a setup.
You're a dickhead.
Whatever. And that's about them. It's not about you.
Yeah.
And we don't take that personally. If you do take it personally, you shut the whole gig down and make it uncomfortable for everyone. It gets awkward. You yell at them. You're not present anymore. You're trying to save face. You're trying to be cool, whatever the fuck. And so like with the not taking anything personally, it's so nice. Like water off a duck's back. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? The danger with this is like that you could, I suppose, deny your feelings. That you, if you are saying, I don't take anything personally, oh, don't worry about it, I don't take anything personally, and you're just shoving shit down, like the flames of hatred and resentment and fire are burning, but you're like, oh, I didn't take that personally. No, I don't even care. I don't even care. This is why you have to be impeccable with your word. Is that you can take things personally, and you will. Like 100% of the human population will at some time or another take something personally. Even the most enlightened cunts alive will at some point have a moment where something hits a nerve. And what the people with wisdom do is not, I don't take that personally. Don't even care. Don't even give a fuck. A lot of it, I mean, there's this thing where we go like, oh, I pity them.
Yeah, well, that's bullshit too.
That's you putting yourself on a level above them because you feel hurt, so you have to big dog above them. So, I don't take it personally. I pity them. And it's like, no, you don't. You've just taken that personally.
Ego as well.
So, this, like, you have to be careful about the language you're using. If if you do take something personally, if something hits and it hurts and you don't like it and you react, you're going to react however you're going to react. If you have a bit of good composure of your emotions, hopefully you're going to react in a positive way that doesn't cause damage. But you're going to react however you react because that's the emotion that came up.
Yeah.
The way you grow wisdom from this, and what wise people do, is they go and reflect on, why did I take that personally?
Yeah.
Why did that hurt so much?
Yeah.
Okay, what's that? What belief is that tied to?
Yeah.
And I'm realizing this now about myself. Like, as life goes on and the more I'm trying to understand myself, I really do have this core belief that I'm not worthy of respect somehow. And a lot of times it's in relation to men, but it's just kind of generally, I do feel this way. And so if I'm going to take something personally, it's almost always the story is related to that person didn't respect me.
Yeah.
And so instead of confirming that, reaffirming that, and going like, that person's an asshole, he doesn't show respect, it's more now like, oh, I've told myself a story that I am not worthy of respect. I believe I'm not worthy of respect, because if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't even notice. And this is the real, like, fucking amazing magic of this book, is that you don't take anything personally when you don't have a reason to.
Yep.
If the agreement is that I've told myself I'm not worthy of respect, then anytime someone does anything, I will filter it through the lens that I'm not worthy of respect. They don't respect me. And I can put the blame on them and go, they're a disrespectful cunt, so I don't deal with them anymore. And it's like, oh, what a shame. What a shame that you didn't get to learn that lesson about yourself. You shut that person out of your life. And yeah, obviously, like, if you don't like being around somebody, you don't have to put up with them. You don't have to, like, live your life, like, chasing after them, being like, no, I'm learning this lesson right now. Yeah. But every time you have one of these experiences and these feelings, the more you just send it out and be like, it's their problem, not mine. You can look at yourself and be like, oh, interesting. I still don't believe that I'm worthy of respect, or else that wouldn't have hurt. So then you can... And what he also talks about in this book is that, like, you don't have to beat yourself up about it for years and years and years later. You don't have to keep telling it to yourself. No. In that moment, you reacted that way because there's a core belief in here that you feel this way.
Yeah.
That's not real, is it?
You got an opportunity to work on it right
yeah.
then.
And then you can punish yourself a little bit less the next time, and a little bit less the next time, until that no longer becomes a problem.
And even if a stranger does say something, like... You can consider the information without taking it personally.
Yes.
So, like, if someone in the audience says, oh, that was a fucking shit punch or whatever, you can go, okay, well, maybe it was because someone said something. Doesn't mean I have to actually change anything, but they might have had some valuable information, even if they are being a cunt. Yeah. And I'm not taking it personal, but there might have been some information there. So what happened that they said that? Oh, yeah, maybe, you know what, I was kind of looking a bit cranky or whatever. You know, like, so there's valuable information without taking it personal, and you can that's just accepting the present moment for what it is, and doesn't have to fucking affect you personally at the same time.
Well, and everything that everyone else does is because of their own dream and their own bullshit. So this is something that's so important. And we talked about this on the last podcast about how, like I said, that my mom told me I wasn't an athlete.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so then I've just kind of locked that in or whatever.
Yeah.
But you don't, like, that's her own appraisal. Yeah. That's her own idea about whatever. Yeah. And then I've accepted that agreement, and then I've lived my life using that agreement to dictate my personality. And like, and that's normal. It's a normal part of growing up. That's what you are. You go to these people for guidance, and they tell you stories that come from their own fucking dream, their own bullshit, and their own stories about what they think reality is. So if somebody yells out, like, that's not a funny punchline, it could be that something happened to them that day that was highly emotional, that was related to that topic, that had fucking nothing to do with you.
Yeah. Like,
oftentimes that happens a lot. Like, I used to do a bit of like a God thing, definitely not disrespecting religion or God, but I'm trying to make a clever point about something else, but using the vehicle of religion to get the point across. And she heard me talking about religion and instantly got offended. Yeah. So she didn't hear the point of the joke, that the joke has nothing to do with anything. Yeah. Like, I'm like pretty pro religion, like, pro spirituality anyway. And so, like, the whole point was missed because I used a language that she felt offended by. She immediately got offended.
Yeah.
And and luckily in that moment, like I had been doing a lot of emceeing at the time, so I was pretty comfortable with it. Like she would just said out loud, "That's not funny."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "What?" And then so we just had like a chat about it. And I was never going to get her on side. I never took it personally, and it turned into this like funny experience for everyone in the room. But that's her.
Yeah.
Her being offended by my joke is inside her. I have to be careful. I'm responsible for the things I say, and I'm responsible for not trying to cause harm with the ideas that I'm saying. Like I understand I have a responsibility with a microphone, that I have to be cautious about what I'm saying, that my intention is not to cause harm. But at the same time, if somebody misunderstands my intention, it's not my job to control it. And so I just need to not take that personally. It doesn't mean you walk around in the world being a cunt. This again goes back to being impeccable with your word. Are you doing the right thing?
Yeah, she just needs to work on her own relationship with God.
Yeah. Well,
she obviously needs to do that by herself.
Yeah, and then maybe there's a fragility there. Like if you look into that, like maybe this is maybe next level victim blaming, but potentially if she believes that she has to defend her God, then that means that she thinks that her God's not capable of handling a comedian on stage.
Yeah, she doesn't believe in God.
So how
really.
fragile is God? Like if God is all powerful, all seeing, almighty, he doesn't need you to defend him.
Yeah.
But if you're offended by it, then there's obviously something.
She doesn't believe. People only have to defend things they don't really believe in. Because when you really believe in something, you just go, I don't care. I know what's true.
Yeah. And this is that thing, again, coming back to loving yourself. You don't have to defend anything.
Yeah.
You don't have to try to lie or try and present a front. You don't have to do anything. If you accept yourself for what you are because you've done enough understanding of who you are, listening to the stories you're telling yourself, you don't need to take anything personally.
Like the billionaires that walk around looking homeless.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't care.
I don't need to present a front. I know what I am. I know my intentions are right. I know that, we're not entirely in control of the wounds, like the psychological wounds that we've collected over the years. But this is how you become more aware of them and not let them control you so much.
For sure.
And what a nice thing.
Yeah.
And what he talks about a ton in this book is like, you're living in hell. Hell isn't some like place that happens after you die. You can create
right here,
hell right now by lying to yourself, lying to other people, hiding yourself, shutting yourself away, like allowing yourself to have attachments to this shit. Like, what if you had the option of living in heaven right now?
Yeah, I
we
think
would all
everybody
choose
does.
it.
Yeah,
like if we could, but it's not to say that that's not hard.
Yeah, I think it's simple and not easy, like most of the important things in life.
Yeah, simple and not easy, definitely. The lead on from the next agreement is really similar to not taking anything personally, and that is don't make assumptions. And that the reason why they're the same as each other is we were talking about like telling yourself stories, is that if something happens and I go, oh, that person doesn't respect me.
Yeah.
Or that was disrespectful. Even just that sentence, that was disrespectful. That's me already underneath that making an assumption that that person wanted to disrespect me and cause me harm.
Yeah, and that relates to a whole bunch of things now.
And then that underneath that is this whole storyline, you're not worthy of respect. And isn't that funny? Like, so when you get angry at someone, or you feel jealous or sad or envious or all of these things, all you're doing is reinforcing a belief that makes you feel small.
Yeah.
It makes you feel shitty and worthless. And you're just reinforcing it over and over and over again. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I want to care about myself. I want myself to feel comfortable to navigate the world. So why would I hold on to anger?
Yeah.
Because all I'm doing is just making myself smaller again.
Yeah. And do you reckon like a lot of it comes down to, because like when we reread this book and we have the 4 agreements fresh in our mind, we're walking around filtering life through these agreements. So in a lot of life, we're just walking around without a clear filter. It's like, you know when they say someone walks around with rose-colored glasses on? It's like we wake up in the morning and we're not choosing what filter to wear today. So instead of having the 4 agreements, we're going around filtering to fear. Whereas like we could easily improve our life by just getting up in the morning going, before we walk out the door, go, okay, so today I need to filter every interaction through this. It could be a goal. Like my goal is to have this in 10 years, and every interaction needs to filter through that and the 4 agreements. And maybe in the future we'll have that in our fucking
Google
Facebook.
Lens.
Yeah, like you go, slotting, poop, fucking billionaire glasses, because like, or whatever it is. And Neuralink will probably have that, as much as I don't want to say that because I'm against all of these things. Fuck. Can you imagine if they're just like, plug in your USB and you filter everything through this lens today, as if everyone won't have it.
Dude.
I'm never getting vaccinated. I will say this, and I'll say it time and time again, but these Neuralinks could have some amazing opportunities.
Well, yeah, like, so the idea that you could put a lens over your perception of the world that allowed you to see the world in a more loving way.
Yeah, no trauma.
Without your trauma.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is? It's MDMA.
Yeah, in some ways, for sure.
Or even weed, in a way. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like weed, in particular, allows you to see pretense. And it allows you to drop off your own pretense, because it feels uncomfortable to be pretentious.
Yeah.
If you're stoned and someone else is stoned, if they're being pretentious, it's really magnified. Or if you start to do something that's a little bit corny or not, you like instantly feel like there's like a very big disconnect. I used to talk about this a bunch, but like, when I used to watch movies, get really stoned by myself and watch movies, and I would see them acting. Yeah. And then you're like, I'm watching them acting.
You see through all the bullshit.
Yeah, you just see through everything. And I think, like, it's not healthy to be stoned all the time, because you can't, like, it's like the Alan Watts thing, like, you use these things as vehicles to get across the river. Yeah. Like, if I want some more clarity on my own bullshit and other people's bullshit, it might be good for me to put on the weed lens, put on the weed filter for an afternoon, and be like, how much of this is bullshit today? Yeah. And then once I've done that, I need to take time away from the weed lens to be like, how do I process this now, and log it and separate it, and then put it into the filters where it's supposed, or into the file.
100%, yeah.
So like, if I want to experience truth in my life, yeah, maybe smoking weed is a good way of seeing that truth, and like maybe connecting on a deeper level with yourself, with other people, because there's no bullshit. There's no like pretense in the way. But then you got to figure out how to do that in your day to day.
And then you got to install the actions. And because I find, like, well, Alan Watts said that as well, didn't he, about like psychedelics and weed. He's like, once you get the message, hang up the phone. Yes. When I do it a little bit every now and again, I do get beautiful insights. Yeah. And I'll look back at my notes and be like, that's good. I like that. Yeah. 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 Balance. Well, and this having self-awareness, being honest with yourself about why you're doing what you're doing, and paying attention to the impact you're having on yourself and other people is the cure for all of these things, really. Yeah. And it's being able to have these conversations, like the shame stuff. Like, if somebody's like, why are you acting like that? And you feel shame. Yeah. It's probably because you already know you shouldn't be doing it. Yeah. Like, you already know. Anytime, and that's another, like, one of these amazing things about, you should feel discomfort. When you feel discomfort, I talk to fighters about this a bit, like, before a fight, when you feel nerves and, you're starting to get like the rushes, and you're kind of like, oh fuck, I don't really want to do this, I don't want to do this. You kind of have to say to yourself, like, well, first of all, you're here now. Yeah. You've committed to doing this. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. So you have to accept it. Your face is fucked soon. Yeah. This was really hard for me to accept. I resisted against fighting so bad right up to the last second. Yeah. And I created so much hell for myself because I just refused to accept that that's what was happening to me. And the moments where I've enjoyed fighting the most were always when I was just like, oh, good. I'm here now. I'm backing myself. I'm doing this now. Yeah. Don't resist it. Dive in. Like, fucking get dirty. Get in amongst it, because you're here. Yeah. What are you trying to get out for? You're there. That's where the pain is. Yeah. Trying to be somewhere where you're not. Yes, you must. You're here. Yeah. Accept that you are right here. And how much joy, and like sliding into that moment and being like, oh, fuck, I am powerful. Like, I'm good. I'm strong. All of this nonsense noise in your head disappears because you're just there. Yeah. You're nowhere else. There's nothing else there. Yeah. And so, like, when you have these moments of feeling whatever, anger, fear, frustration, confusion, maybe in the moment it's too hard to deal with, and I know that myself. Like, I'm not in control of my emotions in those moments. I'm definitely more in control of my reactions, but the problem is my reactions are just to shut down. Right. So I have become aware enough that I don't just blow up at people. I don't yell at people. I don't freak out. Yeah. But I do shut down. Yeah, right. And that's also a reaction. You know, they're all reactions. They're all the same. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, well,
But the story I tell myself with that kind of reaction is that, like, at least I'm not going to say something I don't mean.
Yeah,
at
give you
least
time
I'm
to
not
consider.
Gonna regret. Yeah, but I do regret getting trapped in that, because then I'm not being impeccable with my word. You know, like, I'm not able to back myself, and also shutting down means that I don't trust myself. I don't trust my own ability to handle and navigate this. So I have to shut down and avoid it. I don't like the situation I'm in. I don't like the way this feels. So I'm just going to shut down and hold it in, instead of being like, I don't like this feeling. I feel this way.
Yeah.
And I need to do something about it. Like, I want to process this, and maybe I want to punch you in the face, but I'm not going to. But, you know, it's like they're being able to say out loud, like what some of the psychology books talk about is like just naming it. What are you feeling? Just name it. I feel angry. And that's just enough to kick you out of being angry. There's just enough for that moment. Yeah, because
you can see it. That it's not. You can see the separation between me, anger.
Yeah,
they're two different things.
I feel angry.
Yeah.
So then that's
I'm not it
thing. Yeah, I'm not the angry.
I feel hungry. I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you say shut down, is that in all relationships, or is that in like your love relationships, or one or the other?
Yeah, it only happens when it's highly emotional, and that is usually when stakes are high. So it could be a job situation, it could be a romantic relationship type of situation, family.
Yeah,
I'm more comfortable speaking my mind to my family when things get emotional, but I also play a role, like. You know, with your family, you've become a certain person over time. You've built agreements with them over time. They expect you to be a certain way. I expect them to be a way. So I make assumptions in those interactions. Oh, if I say this, my mom's going to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a pure assumption. It doesn't let her actually have a reaction. But unfortunately, she almost always does exactly what I expect she's going to do, because I know her, you know, like, and this is generally what happens when this happens, that's going to happen. So like, we're prediction machines. Even if she didn't react that way, I'd probably see that she did anyway, because I'd be convinced, like, or
maybe she would in your presence, because you're both connection or whatever it is. Because what was like, we were talking about Ram Dass earlier, and Ram Dass used to say, you think you're enlightened? Go spend a week with your family.
Yes, exactly, right? And they just draw out all of the things. Like, they know exactly how to push your buttons because they put them there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not their fault. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault. It's like, we are playing the same role with each other. So I feel more confident to speak my mind when I'm in an emotional conversation with my parents, because I'm the petulant teenager. You know, that's like, well,
that's
you
your
talk.
Role.
Yeah, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And then I have my voice because I have been able to fight their authority in the past. Whereas with somebody that I love, that I'm like in a relationship with or whatever, I don't feel I don't want to do that to them, first of all, because they haven't harmed me. Like, my parents, in my viewpoint, you know, like, there's years of hurt that I'll draw from to be like, wait, you are disrespecting me again, and now this is why. You know, it's all stories. It's all the same shit. Because with your family, you can't escape them. Like, you can, I guess, decide that you don't.
Did 20 years ago. Nah, just kidding. I love my family.
But you know what I mean? Like, they're stuck to you because of they made you.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, with a partner, they can leave you.
Yeah.
So the stakes are higher. If you are a petulant teenager to somebody that you're supposed to love, there's a whole bunch of rules that are being broken there. So, like, I don't have the confidence to speak my mind in those situations because I'm unsure how to say the right thing without being hurtful, without being self-sacrificing.
So you're not like a screaming girlfriend?
No, definitely not. I have done. Like, I've definitely gotten into arguments where I've had to, like, I've gotten to that point. But I'm trying to think of when that's happened recently. And
I've been single for a few months at least, so I haven't really had any emotional response. I don't get emotional in work or like
there isn't a lot of other stuff that is that important to me that gets me that.
No.
I couldn't speak up to my bosses when they changed my work agreement from wages to ABN one time.
Yeah.
And while the conversation was going on, I didn't know how to make sense of it. I didn't feel like it was right. I felt emotional, but I didn't know how to say it. And I felt like that was a conversation that I needed to have facts. Like I needed to have
sure.
actual numbers to make a decision about, and they kind of made the decision for me. And I didn't speak my mind because I didn't feel like I had the power to speak in that moment. And I shut down. I got emotional. I felt disrespected, probably. Like again, that's that story in my head. So like, oh, she doesn't respect me, so she's just doing what she wants with me. And I accepted that. And so then I went away from it feeling awful, like really bad about myself, and really kind of like beat myself up about it. Like I was like digging poison into the wound, because I was like, yeah, of course you don't speak up for yourself because you don't deserve respect. You're a lowly piece of shit.
And it just got worse and worse.
Yeah. And so then like once I processed that emotion, then I went and like spoke to my accountant, did all the figures, did all the numbers, got it all right. And I went back to her, and when I was like calmer and I had more time to think and I had the facts, I brought it up to her, and the same exact result happened, because she's just a much more dominant kind of personality to me. And she was just like, no, this is what's happening. And then I again felt small and pathetic and stupid, and I just wore it and I just took it. And I think that lived, like I stewed inside me for a year, like it was a long time. And I probably was one of the many reasons why I ended up like leaving my job in the end, because
when you leave something happen that you're not happy with, like,
and I just didn't know how to express myself, and I didn't have the confidence. And it's a shame now when I look at it, like it's so annoying, because if that had happened in anything that didn't seem important, I'd just say it. Like so many things in life, if somebody annoys me at a shop, I just say like, no, like it doesn't bother me.
But that's part of life too, isn't it? Like you have these experiences, and that's a filter for something you're not going to let happen again in the future. Like
you're much more aware of it.
Like
definitely.
Like if you look back on life and you're not embarrassed by things that you've done 2 years ago, well, you're not growing.
Yeah.
It's like when you look back at comedy jokes and you're writing, and like you should be embarrassed with everything. Like if you're not embarrassed with, like, you see a memory pop up on Facebook, you're like, oh my God.
Yes.
Well, like, who is that idiot? That's why like we have to have compassion for people, because you go, like if you can't have compassion for your Facebook memory from 5 years ago, how can we have compassion for another person?
Yeah.
Like if we can't even love ourselves 2 years ago, look at that idiot, that fucking douchebag.
Yeah,
you did that.
fully.
Like I get the ick with something I posted yesterday.
I know.
So.
And it doesn't mean that you should stop expressing yourself.
No.
It just means that like
just accept that you're going to change every second of every day.
You're always going to be changing and growing. And I think like this, I mean, it can get you into a little bit of trouble when you see the potential in other people and you go, I see you have potential to be better. And then at the same time, you're kind of like, it's not my responsibility. Yeah, it's not my responsibility. I can't change you. I can't fix anything. We can only, and like coaching and Muay Thai, I've seen crazy, amazing transformations in people. But I wouldn't say it's the Muay Thai specifically. It's the direct relationship between that person, that point in their life where they're ready to make a change, and the sport bringing out the best in them, or the challenging enough for them. It's like these three things all have to come together.
They'd made a decision as well,
they chose to change.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Because I know when I make the decisions in life, like there's periods where you just like, let's fucking go. Like when your brain has made a decision, because we don't even make them, do we? They happen.
Yeah.
Like I know when a decision happens, my brain go, oh, we're on for a while next year.
Yeah.
I know. And I had that experience this week. I was like, okay, I know this next year is going to be another big one. It's just like, it came out of being sick, and it's like, okay, let's go again.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's always happened to me. Like every year or two, I get sick, and then it's like a ramp up after that. And
reinvigorated with life or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think, you have to be willing to make the change yourself. And and I think a lot of these things start with that, being impeccable with your word. Where am I lying to myself? Where are the stories that I'm telling myself or telling other people holding me back? How often am I telling myself I'm not funny and I can't write? How often am I doing that? Right now, it's daily, constant story inside my head. So how the fuck am I ever going to expect myself to be funny or enjoy my time on stage or enjoy writing if the story I'm constantly telling myself is that I'm not funny? Like, that's insane. You can't expect to have any kind of change or any move in a different direction if you're not being honest with the words that you're telling yourself. And it's not easy because they're a habit. They've been there for a while. But if you don't like something going on in your life, like, you have to see where it's coming from and stop giving it fuel.
Yep.
If you don't want to be putting on weight, stop eating food that makes you put on weight. It's very simple.
So simple.
And it's hard, of course. Like, well, I shouldn't even say it's hard, because again, that's another story.
Because everything's hard. Like, being in pain and making bad decisions is harder.
It's worse.
Yeah, it's obvious.
You need to be honest with yourself about what you're doing and the impact it's having on your life with the other people around you so that you can make a change. Because if you don't, life will do it for you. And it's so much worse.
Because when you're being disciplined and doing the, inverted commas, hard things, that's less painful. Because when you lie down on your pillow at night, you go,
yes.
That's a nice feeling. Like, one of the best feelings in the
Heavy.
world is lying down on a pillow, proud of a day where you've been impeccable with your word.
Yeah.
And, like, that's the best feeling.
Because you are just love. That's all you are. But because all these fucking stories you're telling yourself and all these like, my pain and my hurt and my bags of shit that I've collected over time, like you're holding on to all this stuff and being like, don't get close to me because I'm bad. And it's like, stop it.
Yeah.
Let go of all of that. And yeah, it's going to hurt sometimes. Everything, when you have a wound on your body that someone touches or sunburn, you go, ow, for a second. But then you go, oh yeah, this person's just trying to be a person. They didn't mean anything by it. They're not trying to hurt me. They didn't realize that I've got a sunburn.
Unless you're Irish and your Irish friends see you're sunburned, and then the typical thing you do is go up and you slap them as hard as possible.
Oh my God.
That's what you do in Ireland. So that's a different scenario.
I accidentally, Paddy always gets sunburned because he's very Irish, and I accidentally all the time touch it. Like he'll have to be like, ow, just give me, and I'll be like, oh yeah, fuck, sorry.
Sunburn's the worst.
Yeah, it is. But that's like, and that's kind of, they finish the book with this where they say like, imagine a world where everyone had this like skin disease that if you, anytime you try and touch them and they get burned, that's what we're doing. But it's a emotional skin disease that we've got. It's this emotional body is wounded from all of our childhood past, and we're holding on to them. They're infected wounds that are infected with our own poison that we need to, periodically, like it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt when someone, quote unquote, disrespects me. But I'm making that. I'm allowing them to disrespect me because I've decided it's disrespect. I could decide that that's a person who is interacting me with in a way I don't like, that doesn't make me feel valued or whatever. And that's all it is. But I'm valuable.
Yep.
So I don't need to carry that. I don't need to hold it. I don't need to be like, I'm not worthy of respect, so keep whipping myself with the pain. No.
And when you're living by the agreement, and it doesn't have to be these are four agreements, but when you're living by some form of these agreements, then these things don't affect you, because say if someone does disrespect you, you respect yourself, so you automatically don't take it personally.
Yes.
Because you're like, oh, well, no, I respect myself, so now that person's wrong. So it's by
and it's
taking
okay.
these actions.
Whatever they've done is that's their own dream. That's their own perception. That's maybe they're trying to shed some poison themselves. They're having a bad day, so they've done a thing. And it's so easy. Like when you see it, like if a shopkeeper did that to you, most people would just be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. They're having a bad day, and then you just walk away.
Yeah.
But for some reason, like, and if you are a person that reacts to a shopkeeper the same way you react to your partner or the same to everyone else, then like, oh, you're carrying a lot of emotional poison.
You're carrying a lot of poison.
The road rage stuff we were talking about last week, when people are road raging all the time, it's like you are the only thing that's creating hell for yourself. You're stuck in traffic whether you like it or not. You are in the car where other people are. If you get offended by everything that happens around you, you are creating the poison in your car. That's you.
Yeah.
You could just listen to music. You could have a lovely chat with the people in the car with you. You could enjoy the sun on your skin. But instead, you're choosing to focus on all the shit that makes you feel unhappy. Fine, good, but you're creating the hell.
Road rage, they maybe they could have some sort of thing like with Tinder where somehow, maybe when they've got more cameras in the world, that before you go on a first date with someone, you get to see footage of a person in traffic.
Dude, it would filter out so many people, wouldn't you? Because you would just be like, oh, I don't like who you really are. We didn't talk about the last agreement, but we need to wrap this up. But the last agreement is always do your best. And that they obviously all plan with each other, but always doing your best. Basically, he summarizes this whole thing with, you're not always going to be impeccable with your word. You're not always going to be able to not take things personally. You are going to accidentally make assumptions periodically. Your brain is a prediction machine. We know this. We have now studied the brain. It's amazing. This knowledge came from 3,000 years ago, and they already knew this shit before we had neuroscience and fMRIs.
Well, they had heaps of available time.
Yeah, and they can really observe.
If I was alive 3,000 years ago, I would have had heaps of time for fucking studies.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have TikTok.
Goat sacrifices.
Didn't have...
Instead of TikToking, you're just cutting out hearts. But so they say, just do your best. Your best is going to change in any given moment, any time. If you're sick, if you're healthy, if you're happy, if you're sad, whatever, your best will change. But do your best and be impeccable with your word. If you're lying to yourself that you said you did your best, but you know you didn't, you're going to feel regret.
Yeah.
The only way to permanently avoid regret in your life is to always do your best in every situation. That means bringing action to the present moment now, living your life now in the present moment. The only way you will feel regret is if you allow yourself to be separated from the present moment by telling yourself a story.
Yeah, and that's I think like it's not like it's more important nowadays, but with all the distractions, people are doing 50 different things and not being present, and then you're not doing your best. So like life is so much more simple when you just like, even if it comes down to like, I've got to do this email and I need a phone call, I'll be like, well, if I'm just doing my best, that would mean I'll finish this first. Like it really does simplify things. Like doing your best is just being present, like you said, right? With every little thing, like being present with the friend that you're hanging out with. And then if you've got to answer a call, well, do your best would be make the call later, because then you can be the best person on that phone too. It all comes back to being present. Yeah,
if you're doing three things at once and you think
you're doing nothing good.
Yeah, nothing's going to be good. It's not satisfying for the other person. If you're like sending messages on your phone, you're halfway sending messages. And this, like, don't make assumptions, and being impeccable with your word are about you also being like having the confidence to say, hey, just 1 second. I can't focus on you right now because I really need to send this message, but I'll be right with you. Yeah. And that's having the confidence to say that, know that about yourself, understand what you're doing and what impact you're probably going to have on the other people. It's like, that's okay. And people respect that so much more. Yeah. If you're halfway there and you're pretending to listen while you're doing three other things and you're not focused, it's like, don't fucking be there. Don't worry about it. My mom used to say this to me, and I wonder if this is a toxic belief or not. I'm still working it out now. Is that she said, like, if you can't be pleasant, don't be around people. And on one hand, I kind of feel like it's made me feel like I always need to be my best and always on my best behavior and always have to be really pleasant for everybody all the time, which is probably a toxic belief. It's probably not healthy. Yeah. But I do actually appreciate that she's like, if you're going to be in the presence of other people and you are willfully putting yourself in the presence of other people, you need to be somebody who's pleasant to be around. Yeah. If you are not going to be pleasant to be around, it may be better for you to remove yourself. Yeah. And that's okay. You can be honest with yourself and go like, I'm too tired to have a fun conversation right now. I need to go have a nap, or I need to go and have a little bit of alone time. I need to be by myself. It's probably going to disappoint that person that I need to be alone right now. Yeah. But it's better that I'm alone and I've been honest about needing to be alone than it is that I pretend to be here and not really be here with them. Yeah. Or be resenting them that I have to give them my time even though I don't want to. Like, and this is when, like, it is a little bit hard to say these things when you feel like you have obligations. And then on the other side of that too, it's like, why do you need to be alone right now? Are you sulking? Are you having a sook? Like, maybe you're reacting to some story in your head, like, oh, I need to be by myself because I just want to, like, gorge on porn or whatever. Like, maybe I would be doing my best if I was actually around other people and giving them my presence. Yeah. Am I just being greedy? So there's, like, all of these different things. I don't think there's a right or wrong, but I think the correct and the incorrect way is to be honest about why you're doing what you're doing. Yeah, and, like, if you at least minimal ask yourself that question, well, you're going to come up with the best possible answer for that moment, and maybe it's not perfect, but it's going to be a hell of a lot better than if you don't ask the question. Because, like, say if people say you're going to come out for drinks tonight and you're tired and you probably should stay at home, and you go, okay, and you don't really want to go, but you maybe have a fear of loss. Whereas at least if you ask the question, you go, why do I want to go out? Oh, fear of loss. But you know what? Like, that idea of sitting at home and being nurtured on the couch feels so, because as soon as you think about that, you know the difference. Like, if I'm thinking about should I go out, actually that idea of sitting on the couch at home and just having dinner feels so nice right now. And then you kind of have the answer really quickly, right? So just asking the question gives you the answer most of the time, right? Yes. Because then you've got to be impeccable. You know the answer after that. And then if you still go out and get pissed, well, then you've been not impeccable with your words. So. Yeah.
So,
yeah, exactly. And then
like,
you're not going to do your best because when
Yeah.
you're out, you're going to be thinking that you wished you were
Yeah.
at home or vice versa.
And even like the assumptions one for me, I find like it's often that also that fear of rejection or whatever too, because people make assumptions because we don't want to ask the question.
Yes.
So we go, oh no, that's fine, but it's not really that we actually think something. It's just we're afraid to maybe upset the potential of what it might
yeah.
bring about.
Yeah.
And so we don't ask the question. And like I've learned it a lot of times in work because, like I talk to so many people, it's high volume, like a guy makes a big booking and I'm like, oh great, after getting this deal, and then make an assumption. And in the early days, it's because you don't want to ask these questions that might upset and lose the sale.
Yeah.
So you make
yes, there's a lot
assumptions just to
riding
get
on
it happening.
Yes.
When in reality, but then later you've got to have a tough conversation because you've made an assumption.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you wanted 600 of these. I just assumed that that's what you would want when you said you wanted to set up a meeting. I've already ordered them.
Assumptions in sales world. I didn't really think about it until now, but yeah, assumptions in sales was one of the biggest heartaches, one of the biggest headaches, because you got to have these tough conversations later.
Yes. And the conversations later are so much worse.
So much worse.
In the moment, yeah, it seems a little bit scary to say. And even
but it
if
feels so freeing when you have a tough conversation.
Yes.
Like the feeling of having, inverted commas, tough conversation that you think is going to be tough. I think we might have talked about this before. It's only tough in that initial where you're into it, because it's kind of like somehow you're breaking the resistance. And then once you're in, you feel free. There is a feeling of freedom.
Jumping into kind of the cold ocean.
Yeah,
Like at first you're like, I can't. And then once you're in the water, you're like, oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's the same with everything. Like the start of anything is always a little bit like awkward and uncomfortable. But once you're in it, and especially if both of you are like in it and present and being heard and understood, like, and you're taking them for what they are at face value, and you're saying like, okay, like you're not treating them like a sales pitch, like a dollar signs. Because when you treat someone like dollar signs, you're going to do whatever it takes to get the dollar signs.
Yeah.
But if you treat them like a human person, 99% of the time you're going to get a way better sale anyway.
Yeah, because you just like ask genuine questions.
What do you genuinely want? They feel heard, respected, and understood, and they're like, great, this guy, I trust him. I want to give him my money.
And then he leaves, and you're like, fucking 600 of those for him.
I assumed by 60 you meant 700.
But most relationships, probably, it's all based on assumptions, right? Like, if I look back on the majority of my relationships in life, they're all based on assumptions. You're like, oh, we're in a relationship now, and like, it's like, who the hell has the same assumption?
Yes. Oh, I know.
Especially after you've read things like Sex at Dawn, and I've always dated girls from different cultures. I haven't even dated girls. The last time I dated a girl from Ireland was fucking 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I've been dating girls from like not even the same religions, and I'm having assumptions with a girl from an Arabic background. The fuck that's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, because you have no idea how she's cataloged anything.
No.
And then what a nice thing, because that will grow you so much as a person.
Yeah, like most of my learnings have probably come from relationships with girls from different cultures and like well, I guess relationships is how we learn everything, right?
Yeah.
But like just looking back, it still sounds so funny in my head to like just make assumptions on someone from a different planet, basically.
Yeah, well, and we get it all the time, like people that are in different cultures. Like when I went to Indonesia, there's no such thing as a single file line.
Yeah.
Like at the airport, everybody's just smushed on everybody. There's no concept of personal space. Everybody, and it's like you can look around and be like, "Ugh, you're rude. Get off me." And it's just like not a thing. No. It's just absolutely nobody means anything by it. Nobody's being disrespectful.
Australia is like at the far end spectrum of that kind of rules, isn't it? Like I've been in bars recently where people are in single files. I'm like, what's going on with young people today? Because like when I was growing up, and even when I came to Australia, there's no thing. You go to the bar and you push your way to the top and you hold a note out and you catch the barman's attention. I've been in bars lately where young people are all single file, and then there's all this empty space, and I'm like, I'm going standing there because this feels really weird. I don't know if it's just young people now. Is that the thing, or is it an Aussie thing?
Well, they've all ordered it via QR code, and so they're just waiting to pick it up from the thing because they're waiting for the AI chatbot to tell them it's okay to go get their beer.
Okay, that makes sense. Fuck.
Oh, we're in such a weird.
I'm gonna marry an AI fucking robot.
Yeah, you are. You are.
I think it'd be good. I think it'd be great, especially how we were listening to some AI music earlier.
Dude.
If she could sing that music and make a beautiful quiche Lorraine, can call her Lorraine. Like, can I have some quiche, Lorraine? She'd be like, yes, darling. How about I sing you that old classic song from 50 Cent back in the 50s? Yeah, I'm like, I love you, babe.
It's all over.
Yeah, I'm gonna get an AI robot.
Can
called
you
Lorraine.
get it programmed? Can you get unpredictability programmed into the AI robot?
I want to program.
Behaves
I'm gonna program in
like
predictable unpredictability.
Yeah.
So it's unpredictable, but it's scheduled. So like it will seem unpredictable because I'm like, oh, but then I remember, oh, that's right, it's Tuesday. So it's like a little bit of unpredictability, but it actually fits into my schedule.
Oh, it's crazy Tuesday.
Yeah.
She's gonna come at me with a hammer. Okay.
Oh my god, she's gonna. Yeah.
She's assumed that I'm cheating on her today.
Yeah. Oh, Lorraine, you silly sausage. Oh, you brought over your friend. Excellent. Okay, I'm gonna order one tomorrow.
Yeah. Good luck.
All
right. Well, yeah, that's
good
the end
times.
of the 4 Agreements. It's a wonderful book. It's so simple. It's so nice. There's so many different pathways that we can take to improve our life, and this is just such a simple.
I need to write them on my whiteboard because I've put them on my Google Calendar, but I feel like I want to have them written somewhere bigger so that I don't start forgetting them over the coming weeks.
Yeah. So it's the general takeaway from this is like, if you can put your actions through this filter, it'll probably help you make better decisions in your life.
Yeah. Before we finish up, should we just put them in order of their thing again? So
yeah,
be impeccable,
it's be
with,
impeccable
your
with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best.
And shout out to Don Miguel Ruiz for writing this book. You're a legend, and we're going to do his next book next.
Yeah, The Mastery of Love. It's the same thing. It's another short book, and it's The Mastery of Love is like an add-on to the basic principles in the 4 Agreements, but he just takes that and then puts it into the context of human relationships.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily just your romantic relationships, but he spends a lot of energy on that part. And it's about, we kind of talked in pieces about some of the principles in it. Like the whole first start of that book is all talking about the skin disease.
Yeah.
And imagining how you would deal with another person who's got wounds on their skin.
They really get into like analogies in that book, don't they?
Yeah.
Take one of these tangents and I'm like, I feel like it's us two talking sometimes.
Yeah, it's like, get to the point.
I feel like the next book we're talking about, shouldn't get into it now, but I feel like a lot of it is like, comes down to that like masculine and feminine dynamics too. Like when they're talking, it kind of seems, anyway, we'll leave that for another time.
So that next episode will be on the first half of Mastery of Love. We're going to do two episodes on that, and then we'll finish the Don Miguel Ruiz chapter for now, and then we'll move on to the War of Art because you were talking about
that's a great
Stephen
book,
Pressfield.
and that's not too long either. It's so when we finish the Mastery of Love, I'm going to put that on my Tinder profile that I have done some deep study. I've completed the Mastery of Love.
I'm a love master. That'll
yes, I'm a love master.
I wonder if Don Miguel Ruiz sends out certificates when you finich reading the book. If you can get a little printout certificate.
Can you DM him? And shout out Don Miguel Ruiz. Hasn't he got like a son that is also involved in the books?
Yeah, maybe. I think we have
Don
to
Miguel Ruiz Jr.
Address it to the Chris Ryan's van where all of the Sex Pest live.
The Sex Pest van. Shout out to Chris Ryan. We love you too. You and your Sex Pest van. And Aubrey Marcus, you made a big blunder, but I love you too.
Yeah, Aubrey Marcus goes on and on about the 4 Agreements. So we all know where this is headed. You're going to be in 6 months from now. You're going to be in a van operating a sex.
There is a book called The Fifth Agreement.
Yeah, there is.
Maybe that's called You Got It.
How to be polyamorous living in a van by the river.
How to break all 4 agreements and still be a legend.
How to make sure nobody can escape once you've started a cult.
Yes, how to stay at the top of the cult food chain and never get penetrated. Oh, I shouldn't have said that at the end of it. Yeah, well, let's say it depends who's up there. I shouldn't be making assumptions.
No, don't make any assumptions.
Don't make assumptions.
I think he's in a van down by the river.
All
right, that's enough.
Watch out for vans by the river.
Yeah. Unless you want to join a sex cult, in which case.
In which case, we're taking applications for a few different cults that we're starting. Hey, everyone, have a great week. Lorna.
Yeah.
You have a great week.
You also. We'll talk to you soon.
Watch out.